everyone. We want to welcome you today to the We Are Flora Pearl podcast. I'm your host, Latasha J, Humphrey, founder of the Flora Pearl Foundation Incorporated. I'm super excited to get into this podcast today. But before we get started, I want to introduce my co-host, Nisaa.
Hey, y'all.
Destiny.
Hey now.
And we're going to have a great time today. This is our second episode of this season. And our title today is Whose Standard Is It Anyway? But before we get started, we definitely want to do a 30-second moment of silence. Nisaa, I know you were talking about, we definitely wanted to, we'll go ahead and say what this moment of silence is about today.
Yeah, absolutely. So there was a gentleman who was sleeping in his car, and regardless of the circumstances of whether or not, he was inebriated, he was sleeping in a steel car. It was not moving, and he chose the option to walk home versus getting in a vehicle and moving it under the influence, and he was still murdered by police. So this moment of silence is for Rashad Brooks, who was taken from the city of Atlanta way too soon.
All right, ladies. And of course, every week we want to do our feelings check-in. We're going to start with you, Miss Destiny. How you feeling, sis?
Honestly, I am feeling great. I can't complain. There's no complaints. I'm getting ready to be an auntie again. I'm having another niece, and I'm feeling good. I'm feeling real good.
All right now.
New life, Shay.
Hey.
Yeah.
What about you, Miss Nisaa?
I am feeling today very content. As I mentioned to Miss Humphrey earlier, I had a day of doing nothing, and I think that was so wonderful. So today my word is content.
I like
Good
that.
stuff.
That's nice.
I say for me, I'm peaceful in this moment. Yeah, it's been a day
That's
of
a great way to feel.
yeah, I am, and that's it, peaceful.
Share the peace. Share the peace.
Hey.
I'm here for that.
It's beautiful.
Yeah. All the good feels on that. So yeah, it is a beautiful place to be in. So yeah, that's me today. Well, we want to jump right into it. Well, I was really real, and so who's starting?
Okay, so I will start, and let's hope you're still feeling peaceful.
Oh, no, wait a minute. Oh, my. I can already tell
Okay. So, for those of y'all who don't know, out there in the podcast world, we are women of service who love to serve the community and our children, especially. Like, we really feel for our children, right? Okay, so, if I say Betsy DuBose, how y'all feel about that? Okay, another moment of silence.
Look, yeah.
Miss Betsy DuBose is standing firm, very firm, on her decision to basically try and get the CARES Act, which is an act that provides funding, COVID funding, to underprivileged school and youth. She's basically standing firm on her stance that it shouldn't just go to those who need it. It should go to everyone. And everyone are the K through 12 private school students whose mommies and daddies can afford to send them to places like, I don't know, Dubai for Christmas. So yeah, that's really real. Any thoughts on that one, lady?
Yeah, you are testing my peace right now, but okay, all right.
For real.
All right.
If I had chosen peaceful, you'd be testing my peace too.
Don't shoot the messenger.
Okay, so I have one thing, and I do want you to go ahead and jump into it, Destiny, because I'll probably have, but I do have to ask, I want to follow up real quick, just so I can get some understanding. What is the logic on that? That did she give something to support that, or was just like, this is the decision? Or this is her opinion or take on it?
Feeling as though she honestly just feels as though if it is money for schools, then all schools should have access, which on the one hand, okay, you want all schools to benefit, but really think about how much you're taking from someone who doesn't have to give to someone who already has more than enough. You know what I mean? And doing further reading, it says, like, one of the options, like, if they go with her option of providing funding to all the schools, then what happens is those private school or the public schools stand the chance of losing more money, because those private schools are getting things like tutors paid for and transportation. Private school kids do not take the bus.
Okay. Yeah, so go ahead, Destiny. That might be, you might be the answer. You might be the one to answer for me. But go ahead.
I just don't understand why we keep, like, not serving the underprivileged public schools, because it's supposed to be equal education around the board, except these underfunded schools, they're getting not so great books. They're stretching the teachers thin. The teachers are underpaid, which means they have less resources for their classrooms. These kids aren't getting tutors that they need, and they're failing the classes. And these teachers are passing children who don't really have the qualifications to pass in their grade, but they're just sending them home, and because they don't have the resources to help them where they are. So it's like the children aren't getting left behind. That's not. I don't know. I don't understand, like, why I be so that we can, and that's supposed to be the DeVoe's position. That's her job, and she's not doing it, and I don't understand. And that's my TED Talk.
Yeah. I think on that I might have to sit that one out, because I love my babies, and a lot of what you said, it is what it is. I can't call it on that. That's it's crazy to me. I don't support the decision. And it's not so much like you're saying you're trying to punish even the babies who do have. So I'm not even trying. It's not that. It's more so like, if this is who needs it, like, why are we not funding the schools that need it? And then, yes, those students and also the families who need that funding. I don't get it. So I can't even make sense of it. I mean, and I know it's like, that's what's really real. What's really real is I can't make logic of it. That's why I was asking to follow up. What was the reasoning? Not saying that it has to make sense to me, because overall, of course, if that's what's decided and that's kind of whatever's put in place, and this is what, is allowed, which so many things have been allowed that I, don't necessarily agree with, period, across the board, over years, period. But it's just like, I have to look more into that, because I haven't. So I just, I don't get it. That's all I got.
I'll say this and then we'll go on. All I'm gonna say is Ruby Bridges did not fight for this mess, okay?
See.
The little rock. Listen.
Can I just say one more thing, and then we can really, really move on, because we have more to talk about. We really do.
Yes.
But, my thing is, the reason why this bothers me so much is because more than likely these private schools are in districts where they're getting funding from the housing that they have around them. You know what I'm saying? They're getting more than enough funds to be okay. And that's what I'm just gonna leave it at that. And I'm not gonna say nothing else, and we can move on to Disney World, because
we can move on to Disney World
because that's what I would imagine happens. Okay.
I hate to be the bearer of more bad news to disturb your peace and your goodness. We're gonna come to some light at the end of this tunnel.
You know what? You know what, Nisa? You in this segment? I don't know. Look.
gotta know what's going on.
Ah.
Okay. So yeah. So what had happened was Disney was supposed to open July 17th, right? And I have a homegirl who is the biggest Disney fan ever. However, unfortunately, the corona cases have shot up because states have been opening up too soon, and so they're going to hold that off indefinitely. So if you guys want more magical fun at the Magical Kingdom, you're going to have to get on Disney Plus and magically be happy.
Yeah, that makes sense.
It does. It's the smartest decision because people they ain't doing right.
Baby.
They gotta take precautions, and I understand that.
No, I do. I mean, you know, I didn't think it, even the opening or however things begin to open. I get it. Don't get me wrong. Where people they have a livelihood and, you know, just everything. I am so glad that our babies are not in school and all of that. But, you know, I get it to some degree, but still the plan, you know, that needs to be in place. Or the plan that should have, I feel like even before everything just began to open and it's kind of a free fall, it's like, no, I don't get it. So I agree. I'm grateful that Disney made that choice. That was the best decision ever.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's definitely how you show you care about the folks. So some good news, everybody.
Good, you're contributing to my piece now. Thank you.
Yes. Okay, and this one is for all the Beehive babies. Okay. Yes, it's for all the Beehive babies. Your girl, Queen Miss Beyonce, Giselle Carter.
Right.
She is going to be honored at the BET Awards as the World Humanitarian.
Awesome sauce. Go ahead. Yeah, well deserved. I love Bee. I don't know about how, you know, the true Beehive, you know, how they really get down, because I know, like, and one thing I can say that people really talk about the Beehive, but I was talking to my daughter about this. Like, we were saying the Beehive, like, they come for you when you come for them. Or like if you come for her, then they really like, okay, let me go and just check you real quick. So some people's fans, they don't do right. But for her, so for me, I say this, I don't necessarily know because I don't have all the new stuff, everything that comes out. You know, you have people who are diehard Beyonce. I respect the sister for just for who she is. I think what she represents. She's always about, you know, just her people. And I love the fact definitely that she's come out, of course, like definitely within recent years and just show her blackness. It's like, y'all say whatever y'all want to. Like, I'm black and I'm a rep it and, you know, take, you know, just kind of, you know, just show up. So I love it. But I've always loved her business savvy. I've loved that, how she's handled herself as a woman and definitely as a black woman. So, yeah. I'm proud of her for that, and she they give behind the scenes, her and Jay, you know, like they do stuff. Yeah.
What do you think, Destiny?
I love me some Miss Beyonce, honey, and not just because she's fabulous, not because her songs are great, but I appreciate her work ethic. My favorite thing to watch about Beyonce is her documentaries and watching the behind the scenes work that she does.
Yes.
And it's like, I appreciate that part of her even more than the glamorous parts. So the fact that she's getting the World Humanitarian Award doesn't surprise me. I mean, she's that and all that.
Absolutely.
Agreed. Yeah.
Like, you know, you have entertainers that will forever, like, stick, you know, and the older generation may, like, curse me for saying this, but Beyonce has really made her way up there with, like, you know, Michael and Prince and, you know, and Whitney. Like, she's really put herself as an all-around entertainer. And she's well at what she does, like Destiny was saying, her work ethic, and she takes care of her people. So, yeah.
You got to respect it. And I would think that elders would really respect that and really give her props on that. I don't see why not. I think that, of course, and she always pays homage. Like, she's humble with that. Like, it's never, you know, it's me and that's it. It's kind of like I'm in my lane, but I also pay homage. I mean, even at Coachella, she was like, you know, she gave shouts to, you know, those who came before her as it relates to the women who paved ways. So No, I love, she's definitely a humble person. Yeah, when she puts, her all, she does it in her music and in the things that she does. But absolutely, the documentaries, even Homecoming, you got to see a part, and I love the fact that she shows what she wants to show.
Okay.
Right. You don't have to show everything all the time. And when you do, you just control the narrative and you show what you want to show. You know what I mean? So I love it. Yeah, she is well deserved, congrats to you on that. Yeah.
For sure. And since we already talking about Miss Beyonce, y'all know she did the music thing. Did y'all know, and I just found this out, because it's every month for me, but June is African American Music Awareness Month.
Yes, I've known that.
Never knew it was. So I was extra black in my music this month, and I couldn't really understand why. But I was like, why
I love
it. Maybell? Like, why am I going here? It gets down. Yes.
Yes. No, it has been that way for a while. June is the month. It is the music, Black Music Month, definitely. Yeah.
That's what's up. I love that because black music is so it's influential. It's the cornerstone of a lot of other different music. It's wonderful.
Absolutely. Yeah. No, good stuff. You said what now?
I'm gonna go ahead and watch me some Cadillac Records.
Oh my!
Yes, I love that movie. I really do.
Yeah, and then I feel like too, like even with that's tomorrow with the BET Awards, it's definitely gonna have people checking it out. Just period. Just
yeah, for sure.
Yeah. So.
and now we get into the nitty gritty of the topics, the subjects, the what's really real. Whose standard is it really?
Like how you say that. Whose standard is it really?
I mean, because it's one of those questions that have to be asked. It's like, where did it come from? Who started it? And who can we give it back to?
Goodness gracious, Destiny.
Wow. She said, who can we give it back to?
It's near and dear to me because, y'all, it's crazy out here.
Okay.
But let's go on with the regular scheduled program before I get too carried away.
Right.
So let me ask you ladies, right? Your own words. No Google, no Webster allowed, no cheating. When I say beautiful, what y'all think? Define it for me.
Well, when I'm thinking beautiful, I'm thinking it's like its own thing. Nothing is trying too hard to be something. It's just doing something. It's raw. It's amazing in its own right. And that's what I think about when I think beautiful.
Wow, Destiny, you're a poet too. Okay.
Oh, girl, don't give me too much credit for that.
Oh, I like that. Because she calls me beautiful all the time, y'all. So when I hear it now, it's like, ooh.
Like, whoa, what did you say? Eye-catching? What did you say?
It's trying not too hard to do its own thing.
Oh, ooh.
What you think?
Wow. It's like when you really think about that, I'm sitting up here and I was just listening to what you said. I think that's beautiful. But and I look, say that I think that's beautiful. And I mean, and not trying to be any type of way. I know we say the term black is beautiful, but I feel like even where I can say particularly like where I come from, and I mean like our ancestors, I truly believe that they are, for so many different reasons. Like just kind of the journey, taking it all in and just appreciating everything. So I was thinking, just being a woman is beautiful to me.
Not shame.
Yeah.
Yeah. That sums it up right there.
I'm just,
When no, I really like that because when you really think about it, it's so much more deeper than like just saying woman. So I get that because when you think woman, there's mother, sister, life, mother nature. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So yeah, I like that one. I received that one. I like that.
Yeah.
Okay, beautiful. When I think beautiful, and it might be because I've been around babies all my life, I think new life. I think of like that first time like a little baby looks at you and you literally just give so much hope for them, and you're just like, this is like something, the only word to describe it inadequately even is beautiful. This is beauty to me. So yeah, I always think new life.
Yeah.
Always.
That's good too.
I like that.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I love it.
So what actually is real, it's real to us, but what Google says, or Webster via Google, says that beautiful is defined as pleasing the senses or mind aesthetically, right? So that keyword is aesthetically, meaning it's whatever you like. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And as we get to thinking about the standard, and like Destiny said, where did it come from? Who do we give it back to? When did we take what we thought was beautiful and allow someone else to trade it out for what they thought was aesthetically pleasing?
My
goodness.
I know.
That's a good question.
That's loaded. Could you? It's almost like repeat that because I need to.
I'll be writing poetry today. I was ready for you.
Whoa.
I mean, you really, like you remember as children, we were always like so bright-eyed about everything. And we just felt like everything was just, it's a beautiful day, and these are beautiful people, and this is a beautiful fork. And if you were like, my cousin's kid, you're like, Mommy, you beautiful. Like, everything was beautiful.
Yeah.
But what point do we see ourselves and go, this is wrong with me. This is not okay. I'm ugly. I'm not cute. I don't look like,
Right.
Or even just your journey, and allowing someone else to tell you that it's not the right one, or you're not doing it the right way. It's not beautiful to them, even outside of maybe the physical. It's like your choices, what you choose to do. And I feel like it's when you have allowed other people to begin to define you. And I know, of course, when you're younger, you have your trusted caregivers and just, family, and some mean well, and, some not so much, or even friends. And then you begin to expand even who you interact with, But I do feel that it is like when you have allowed society, and we've talked about different things before, but when society then begins to define and tell you like what is the standard of beauty, and how you should be, and things outside of you is what then defines like who you are and who you should be. And we see the magazines, you see the different things, and I just feel like it starts at the beginning. If you stay where you were, just like you were talking about, everything is just amazing, and it's like that would be ideal to stay within your bubble. But then you have to, because just as you grow and you begin to whether go to school, and then you get into your career, you get into the different things you're part of, you begin to interact with people. And I think that it's almost even at a point where you have to grab a hold to like yourself. You have to go within once again, like how you were when you were younger, and go within and see like, where is all of this coming from? What you've allowed to get into, your thought process, and what you've even allowed to get into your spirit. you know?
Right. Yeah, absolutely.
I feel like the moment where we start trading in what we think is beautiful for what everyone else thinks is beautiful, I think is when we become more aware of culture, more aware of like what we're seeing on TV, what is put out there as far as, like you said, magazines and stuff like that. And then we go to school. And because the reality is, children are a reflection of who they've been around, of their environment. And so adults, they get to a place where they're stuck in their ways, and they've decided that that their idea of beautiful has been defined, and where it's been defined from affects how the children see beautiful. And so they get to school and they reenact what they've seen from their parents, and whether it's positive or negative, that's what they reflect.
Yeah.
And I think that's when it happens. When we get to school and we are bombarded with the ideals of adults that children have been around.
Write a book, because that was good. That was good. No, that really was.
Yeah.
No, really, I like that, because you think about like when you were speaking, Destiny, you made me think about my first day of fourth grade, because I was homeschooled from kindergarten to fourth grade, and I remember like there was a girl in my class, and the first thing she said to me when she walked up to me, and she was like, "You got so many dots on your face, we could play connect the dots." And I just looked at her and I was like, okay, but at least my teeth aren't trying to high five from 3 miles apart. But well, we was quick-witted in my family, so I came with it. But I went home and I was like, "Mommy, I'm not okay." And she didn't get why, because she had spent so long, like, telling us we looked a certain way and we were beautiful. But in that 1 second, I had to be on the defense about how I looked. And it's fourth grade, like, it's fourth grade, girl. Shouldn't we be worried about colors? Like, I got the 64 pack of crayons. What you worried about my face for? So
she's so
that, I have to laugh for crying, y'all. Okay, drama. Okay?
She said 64. I don't have the 24. I have the 64.
Period. With the sharpener on the back.
Right.
Sure did. Oh, you broke your crayon? What you finna do? What you finna do?
Oh, I love it.
No, like, it definitely is something that you see in young children.
Mm-hmm.
So can I ask you ladies, what do y'all think, like, right now, what do y'all think the beauty standard is in this day and age?
A hot mess.
Oh, okay.
As it relates to society.
Okay.
It is a hot mess, just because it's everywhere. Like, 1 minute the standard is you need to have straight hair. The next minute is if your hair ain't curly, then what is you doing?
Mm-hmm.
1 minute we're praising natural beauty. The next minute you need to have your face caked up because that's what we're doing now. Like, it's everywhere in a mess, and it's crazy because we have people trying to keep up. And because of it, we're driving ourselves crazy. We're paying all this money to get all these new products that people said we need, because that way we can be beautiful and walk out the house and not feel ashamed of ourselves. Like, it's a mess. We look like clowns. That's what we look like. We look like some clowns.
Yeah.
And I feel like I get all of the accessories, right? Whether from hair to, makeup. I mean, and to each his own. I know she said you looking like a clown. I was trying to
say that.
Not everybody, Destiny. Look, now maybe some, that's their choice. Maybe they, like putting a little bit more on than, the average. But
I didn't mean necessarily the makeup looks like we're clowns.
No, I know.
we just look real funny out here because we run ourselves crazy.
Right. No, I mean, I do, because I do feel like it is a lot. Like when you go scroll and say you are on social media and you scroll and you see a lot of different things, of what is supposed to be beauty or what the standard is supposed to be. And I look at everything. Like I said, it's accessories. It's what you choose. Because, a sister may want to do it like this. And I choose something different,
Right.
And so I don't knock it. I'm just kind of like, my thing is, say with your hair, for example, even if you're going to you can wear weave every day. If you want to, a wig or however, whatever. My biggest thing is make sure you're taking care of even your natural strands. I think that's kind of where I'm like, make sure you're taking care of your hair, even with the additional things that you're putting into it. So the things you have naturally, I'm just like, take care of those. And some things I've had to learn the hard way with that, where it was like, you're not really taking as much care. And so again, you have to kind of start over and begin again, but I'm just like, I don't have a problem with you choosing, but I think this is my question. What you are doing, why are you doing that? Like, is it because you want to do it? Because if you want to be, if you want to have whatever, even, surgery, we get to that. If you want surgery, you want these different things, it's cool. But are you doing it because that's what makes you happy, or because you're trying to fit into what society says you should be? Or you should look like, or whatever. I think like that's my stance on it. If I don't care however you want it, whatever you want to do, but as long as you're doing it because it's what is good for you and what you choose to do, and not what someone else told you was the standard of beauty, so to speak.
Oh yeah.
So that's kind of where because even the lashes and all of that, I mean, I can't put them on myself, but I have gone, when I wanted them on, and went to a professional to hook me up, or even makeup, different stuff. If I have certain things, like I've had photo shoots and things like that, where I've gone to somebody else, because that's not my forte every day as it relates to knowing how to put everything where it goes. I put certain things on that I like, but it's usually the basic, but I'll go to who I need to get whatever done. And so I'm just saying, but that's because maybe I had something going on and I wanted something extra, or I was going somewhere and that's what I wanted to do. But it wasn't like if I didn't get it done, or if I don't have it on, like that makes me less attractive, or I'm less beautiful. And so I'm saying, but I begin to own that as I've matured now, because at certain times I may have thought, I need to have this done to feel a certain way. But as I've matured and began to just basically be like, I don't care, like, about what people think. But you have to get there, because everybody's not there. But so now I'm like, I really don't care. Like, y'all pay nothing for me. You're not supporting nothing I got going on, as it relates to everyday living and all that stuff. So I don't really care. But it took me getting to that place.
Yeah, I definitely understand that, and I think that's my main, agreeing with what you said, that's my main thing. I don't think we should be, I support whatever anybody wants to do, and it's a genuine thing that they want to do. Like, I'm not going to knock you for your own preference, like whatever makes you feel the best, whatever makes you feel confident when you walk out that door, that's what you do. My main, beef with everything is that if you decide to go against the grain, or you decide that this is what makes you feel confident and it's not what everybody else thinks should make you feel confident, then now you're talked down to, or you're not allowed to. People want to knock you for it. That's my thing.
Yeah.
I don't think that it should ever be to where if I decide that makeup isn't my thing, but makeup is the hot thing right now, well, you're ugly. I don't understand why you wouldn't want to wear makeup. Like, why wouldn't you do that? Because you don't look right. That's what I do. That's what I disagree with.
So have you've experienced that though?
I have. I've experienced, like, because I was different when I was in school.
Okay.
All the way from when I was in elementary school all the way up to high school, I've been different. And I had a period where I wanted to be like everybody else, but that wasn't my story. While everybody else was wearing Aeropostale or whatever was the good store back then, I wasn't wearing that.
Okay.
And because I wasn't, I was made to feel inferior, or I couldn't be beautiful, or whatever. And my confidence took a blow when I was younger, coming up in school. And I don't think I really got back to where I could feel confident being myself until about my senior year in high school, going into college. And this is why I feel so passionate about this topic in particular, because I don't ever want anybody else to feel like they can't be themselves, be confident in who they are, because it is not what everybody else agrees with. That I never want that to be something that anybody else has to endure, because it's not fair. It's not right. Like,
yeah.
Who decided that everybody has to look the same? That would be boring. Why do I gotta do that?
So right now, Destiny, if you have a young girl in front of you, what do you want to say to her?
I would say to her, whatever you choose to do, just make sure it makes you happy with you. Because that's what matters at the end of the day. People are so fickle. They'll be happy with you one day and unhappy with you the next. But if you can look at yourself and say, girl, you got it going on, that's what you need to aim for. Because that's the only thing that's going to matter 5 years from now. Are you okay with yourself?
It's good. It's good stuff.
Destiny, you give me a list of names, and by Tuesday, all your problems from the past will be taken care of, baby. I will call off the phone. Do not play about you.
We're not worried about them now.
She's so serious about that, though.
Don't play about Destiny.
She is very serious.
Like,
do not send no list, Destiny. Do not send no list.
What high school did you go to? I don't play about
I'm
Destiny.
not telling you.
We are in the middle of a pandemic. Do not send no list.
I didn't even do it. Because the thing is, even though it was hard and I didn't appreciate it, and it made me more I'm being able to go back and be like, girl, you need to be happy with yourself, to all the young girls up now. So it was a hard experience, but in the grand scheme of things, it was a good experience for me.
I'm so proud.
I'm not giving you no list.
No, yeah, please don't. No, I wanted you, I wanted you in this moment though to share, because yeah, it touched you, and like you said, you've gone through that journey, that part of your journey anyway, and to be able to be on the other side of it, because I think sometimes it's always where people may hear about some challenges, but they didn't hear like you get to the other side, and so now you can say, don't mess with them. Because at some point, if somebody asked for a list, you probably would have willingly gave the list and turned away. Like, I don't even know what y'all talking about. But to be at peace with yourself and just have moved on, where it's kind of like, yeah, that, even you saying that helped grow me. That helped to contribute to the woman that you see today. This is who I am, and that it didn't define me. I love that. So kudos to you for that. You heard, okay. Wait a minute.
I did. I wrote a song in 2014 that kind of just laid out what it was and what it is now. And y'all, I think that was the most therapeutic thing I've ever done. Every time I sing it, I'm almost in tears, and it takes a lot for me not to fall out. But
okay, so I'm gonna need you to give us a taste of it.
Oh, you want me to sing right now?
I do. I do.
Me. Come on, Dan.
Oh, my goodness. Okay. All right, since you asked. All right, you ready?
Yes, girl, I've been waiting. Come on.
Yes, we are.
Okay. Hopefully I remember all the words. Anyways, here we go. I used to think it was a bad thing to be different from everybody else. I walked walked around with my head down, and I always stayed to myself. No one around me could really understand how I felt. I tried to fit in with the cool kids. That was never too much help. They pushed me down, but I got up. They made me frown, but now I smile. They tried to kill me with their words, but I'm still around. And there you go.
Oh, that was beautiful.
Thank you.
Oh.
Oh my goodness, see? There I go. Getting teary-eyed.
That is beautiful, Destiny.
Thank you for sharing that with
Yeah,
us.
thank you so much for sharing. Yeah. Good stuff.
Absolutely. I like how Destiny, I like how you asked her, like, what would you tell your younger self, or what would you tell a young girl in front of you? It made me think about how growing up, my mom and all her sister friends would always, well, I call all my aunties, so I got like 50 aunties. But, like, I would, like I said, as kids, you're like, oh, everything's so beautiful. So I would see them, and I would see these grand women, and I'm like, oh my God, y'all are so beautiful. And they never said thank you. They never said, oh, I know. They never looked at me arrogantly. They always, and to this day, they still do. They say, I'm just a reflection of you. And I carried that with me for such a long time that in my old age, I started saying it back to people, because it is one of those things where you may not catch it in that moment, but then you go home and be like, oh my God, if she's pretty and she reflects me, then I'm pretty too, and it sits with you.
That's good.
So I like that, and I thank those women for that, because that's one of those things where if you don't have it, or if there's no one telling you that you're pretty outside of what the world says you are, then you really don't feel like it. So I appreciate that. And Destiny, I appreciate you sharing, because that's not, it's not always easy to be vulnerable about, childhood stuff like that.
Absolutely. Wow. You two have, that's a blessing. I'm definitely going to take that. I love the, I'm just a reflection of you. I think, that's beautiful.
It is.
And Miss Destiny, your voice, you have a beautiful voice anyway. And so that was a way. I love how you turned, like whatever was coming at you and whatever you would call like pain, but you put it into something beautiful. And as a creative, that's just how we do,
Right.
just in whatever way. Like, if for me, it's writing a book, and although I can sing and different things like that, but for me, I turned a situation, and I turned just my childhood, just all of that, and turned it into a product, and that's what it was. And for you, that's how you did that with the song. So I love that, and I just much love to you for that. That's beautiful.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome, dear. Wow.
So, let me ask you, ladies, have you ever been in a group of your girlfriends and ever felt like, just looking around, because you like to think that your friends are beautiful, of course, because you hang out with baddies or whatever. Have you ever had an instance where maybe you felt like the ugly friend, or you were ever told or insinuated of being such?
For sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
I think, for me, I would say maybe the people that I chose, that I think of, who I really chose to say are a part of my tribe, where I never felt that way with them. I think maybe being amongst other people, or, because they were, or it was supposed to be, these would be the pretty girls or whatever. But I feel like people who I allowed in my space, like we really appreciated one another for not just what was on the outside, but like what's on the inside. And then like a lot of those who I really connect with still to this day. We do, and each of them, I feel like they're beautiful. But yeah, but I think for those that are right here in my heart, like no, maybe for other people because they weren't true. That it was like, okay, you're trying to make me feel some type of way, or you feel whatever about me, or however, I may not measure up for you, but for those people that really love me and that I love back, that wasn't something that we did to one another.
That's beautiful. I like that. Shout out to your circle. I like that a lot.
Yeah, that's wonderful.
Good circle.
Yeah. So you all, well, Nisaa, for you, like how did you handle that?
Nisaa was a fighter, y'all. In my mouth.
I believe it. We can believe it.
Y'all get Nisaa. Back in the day, it was me and Vanessa. That was her name.
Okay.
So, I'm telling y'all, she was something. But so I was real quick-witted and very defensive. So it was like, you may not have known that you got to me, but when I went home, I fell apart. And my mom, my mom is very, very strong, and like she can be sympathetic nowadays, but growing up it was like, baby, we tough. Like, you gotta be tough if nothing else. Mm-hmm. And so she wasn't sure how to exactly be overly affectionate about it. She's just like, okay, but you're not, are you? And that was it. And I'm like, Mom, okay, but I'm 12. I need you to give me something more. So instead, it was what I needed at the time. I needed something more. And at the time, it just wasn't her thing. But, in her learning with her million children, she's gotten so much better at it. But at that age, and ever since, I've been quick-witted and very, like, you'll never know that you got to me. You will never know. Mm-hmm. But, I fall apart in peace, and then I come back out, and it's like, okay, I am good now. Yeah.
Yeah.
That was me. That's why I always have a reply for everything.
I know what to say. I have practice. Look.
Yes, I do.
Which, I mean, and you got to do what you got to do. Now, there are times definitely where you have to hold it together. So, I mean, that's a real thing. Right. And that's in different situations. It may not necessarily be amongst, just certain people, but there may be situations where you do have to hold it together, and you may fall apart in the car, or it's kind of like you fall apart, when you get home. And I think that's okay. It is okay not to let everybody in that way. I think that you're supposed to have not, fortresses up for people, but you should have where everybody should not, you know what? And I remember hearing something like that where, even say with your mate, still there's a piece of you that everybody shouldn't have, that you should have for yourself.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, still, although you may have people who know you in different ways, there still should be that safe. And I think I'm trying to see if Dr. Maya Angelou said that. I love her. But where it was like a part of you should always have that. And I remember, I think even hearing her confirm like what I felt anyway, like still there's a piece of you that's always for you. That's your personal, basically your personal space. But yeah, so I feel like you should have, is what I'm saying, you should have boundaries. Okay. And that's a given. Like, okay, like I'm not gonna not have them because you feel like I shouldn't, or I should tell you about this or let you in on this. Like, no, I control that and how I allow people to interact with me and how I interact with them. So, yeah.
Absolutely. And it has allowed me, like, as I've gotten older, and I've made my circle, like, this big to, like, my two college friends, my two high school friends, my school cousins. Right. It really has allowed me, because when you set boundaries for people, how they react to those boundaries lets you know how they feel about you for real.
Say that again. That's good.
I realized set boundaries for people. How you act to those boundaries lets you know how they feel about you for real.
I love that. That's good.
Because I think that's important, especially when it comes to something like how you feel about yourself. Because when you're around people a lot, y'all start to pick up each other's habits or mimic each other unknowingly. And so if you're around this person's energy is not the cutest or the most beautiful, then you become a reflection of that. So set those boundaries for sure. I'm all about boundaries. That's why I don't be at your house all the time, boo, because boundaries, Destiny, I love you. I want you to have your space.
I definitely understand that. Now, I know I'd be acting out like, why you ain't over here all the time? But I definitely understand, like, you have to keep that so that, you know, people can breathe, you know?
Yeah, but I love you all the time, girl.
I love you right back, girl. I really do.
I love you, baby.
So let's get into these questions, y'all. So what is something, well, let's not start too heavy because it's been a heavy way. So let me ask you guys. It has, you know, and if I cry anymore, my mother going to make me pay the water bill at this house for drowning everybody in my tears. So let me switch out from the questions we have. Let me ask you guys something. What is something that you are strong in now or you feel solid about now that maybe you struggled with a little bit growing up?
Go ahead.
Go ahead, because that's a good one. That's a good question.
So, for me, it was people pleasing, where I struggled because I felt like I always wanted everybody to be okay. I think that, I don't know if I took that on which I know a lot of young girls do a lot of times. We tend to want to make sure that everybody's okay with us. And for me, I remember, you know, from parents to, you know, with grandparents, it's like, you know, you didn't want to rock the boat for me. And not that I've got to a place where it's like, I don't care about what y'all have to say. But in a way, like I feel like I've gotten to a place in my life. And I think you do after when you've experienced life and you're on a journey and you begin to, like I said, own who you are. When you do that, you get to a place where you're like, I appreciate that you have a thought, but it's not in line with what I'm doing. And okay. But like I don't have to and I really have gotten to that place. Like I'm just like, you're not going to that making sure everybody's okay. It's like now don't get me wrong, my folks, you know what I'm saying? I'm still like, you good or whatever, but I do have boundaries and I'm not about that anymore. So I feel like being strong and me not only owning who I am, but also owning being protective of my feelings, being protective of me and not thinking I have to give it all away. I feel like that's how I used to be, you know, when they talk about your cup, you owe, basically like you're giving from nothing really. Yeah, it's like you said, what now?
Pouring from an empty cup.
Right. And so it's like I thought that was the thing to do. You're supposed to, you know, I'm a giver, you know, I'm of service, like that's me, that's in my DNA. It is who I am. And I think that's cool for you to be a giver, but you do have to protect yourself. And I feel like for me, what I wasn't strong in is protecting Latasha. And it's like in this moment, in this day, it's like I protect her at all costs and I love the woman I am becoming. So yeah.
Yay.
Love that.
Yes.
I like that.
So for me, what I'm strong in now is I'm 100% myself 100% of the time. If you know me, the same person you see out is the same person I am around my family. I have two modes of destiny. Like I'm either really quiet and observant, or I'm really hyper in Disney action mode. And those are the only two. And I flip between the two throughout the day. But I'm always consistent in being myself. Like both of those are me. I'm 100% myself all the time. Doesn't matter where I'm at. because I used to be the type where I would flip, I would tone myself down basically around certain people. Well, they didn't think that was cool, or they don't like it when I sing every word that comes out of my mouth, or they don't like the fact that I hop around at the grocery store because I'm just like, why not? But
and Target
that's me, right? I like to have fun, and I like singing every word. I like the Disney movies and whatever. So that's me, and I'm learning. Not even learning, but I'm strong in that now. When I wasn't strong when I was younger, because I mean, why waste time not being true to myself? Because like whenever I pass on to the great up yonder, people aren't going to remember who I pretended to be. They're going to want to know about who I really was.
Come on now.
And,
All right now.
if all I ever was a pretender, that's all that's going to be my obituary. Destiny J. McCarter, the pretender. And I don't want that. I don't want that to be my life.
All right now. I had to go and throw my hand up on that one, like one of those. All right, look.
You can put us in church, Pastor.
Hey.
Listen. Saturday's service.
You better look. Hey.
I like that.
What about you, Lisa?
I used to be insecure about that I'm strong in now. Letting people know that I am here, if that makes sense. And I say that because kind of like you were saying, Destiny, you would shrink yourself. And I say this so humbly, y'all, I'm good at a lot of stuff, okay?
That's what's up. Own it.
It took me a long time to be able to say that. And I still struggle with it sometimes. I'm good at what I do. Nisa dances.
You did what you do.
Nisa writes. Nisa can do secretarial things. Nisa done a lot of things in life, okay?
Love
I've done everything from law work to working with children to the homeless. Like, I'm good at what I do. And it took me a long time because you grow up and you hear, oh, you're so arrogant. Oh, you can't do that. Oh, that's being full of yourself. I'm very full of myself in the best way possible.
Yes.
And that's something I'm getting more secure in. My hairdresser, shout out to Shanice, that's my girl. She, when you see your hairdresser, it's therapy. You know what I'm saying? Because they're messing with your cranium.
Yeah.
That's therapy for you. And she wrote me on Instagram a few months back, and she said, I know you didn't release a book and didn't tell me. And so when she saw me the next time, she said, I bought your book and I can't believe you didn't tell me you wrote a book and published it. And I said, I honestly didn't even think to tell you that. And she said, why wouldn't you think to tell me something that big? And I was like, I'm forgetting again that Nisa gets stuff done and Nisa is here. So yeah, that's something I'm owning. And it puts a lot of people off because they're not sure how to take me. But that's okay because that lets me know who is comfortable with themselves. Because if you see my confidence and you're not cool with it, you got some things you need to work on. I don't be around you.
Right.
So yeah, I'm here and I'm happy to be here, and that's that.
And I'm happy that you're here too.
Look. No, and I wanted to say to you, even with that, you're so right about the people who, if they're around you, they know that. Like, I know from even being around you that yes, you're very talented in different things, but there's a humble, I guess like a humbleness or a humility about you where it's not, if they knew you, like they wouldn't feel that way. So you're absolutely correct. If you don't know, or just be able to be comfortable, just like you said. I don't, and I think for me, because that's just where I am as it relates to other people being talented and you doing your thing, whether younger, unfortunately, like you have some people who may be older and they feel some type of way about the younger ones. They think you're going to come take my spot. You're going to whatever. My thoughts are you're not supposed to be there forever anyway. Okay. So even you should be grooming somebody to follow behind you in that particular position because that's not where you're trying to plant. You're not supposed to be planted anyway. So I don't have a problem with when it comes to you, if you ask me things or you need insight about things or whatever, me giving to you. Now I be sure to not cast my pearls before swine. So I'm not saying just whoever, whatever, but I am saying for those who they're like, I can sense it, and I use discernment, so it is what it is. You gotta use your intuition. So I'm like, you do that. But I'm saying for you, I just want you, just even in your journey and owning that, I'm like, you have a balance. So whomever can't get with it, shoot the deuces and keep it moving.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
Kurt. All right, y'all. So let me ask you, okay? We're going to play 20 seconds or less.
Oh, my. Look. I don't know about that. Last time, look.
Destiny been thinking about this since Monday, y'all. So I'm excited to get it. Okay. So like I stated, it is African American Music Awareness Month. Okay. Shout out to our Etta Jameses, our princess. You know what I'm saying?
Snap, snap.
Nippy, because we got to rep our girl. Okay. Let me ask y'all. Let's see. Who we going to go first?
Destiny.
Destiny.
I went first last time.
You right. I'm going to even give you 25 seconds, okay?
Oh, wow.
Yeah, generosity, girl.
Right.
Tap on it.
Oh, my.
And it's simple. Name 3 songs by Black artists that make you feel great. Ready? Set, go.
Number 1 is Freakum Dress by Beyonce. I don't know why, but it just is. Another one, Brown Skin Girl, another one by Beyonce. And another one, I'm out of time, aren't I?
You got 4 seconds.
Beyonce songs all together.
Okay.
How you going?
And that's why she get a humanitarian award.
Beyonce just has this way of making you you got it going on. She just got that. she just got that way. She got
Queen
I
B.
definitely feel that. Okay, Miss Humphrey, ready?
Now say that. What was it again? Look.
I haven't started the timer yet. Name 3 songs by Black artists that make you feel good. You ready? Ready? Go.
Happy feelings in the air.
yeah.
Frankie Beverly and Mace. Brown Skin by India Ari.
I love that.
Ooh, wait a minute. Goodness grief.
It's something about being timed where everything
It makes you nervous.
I know, because I'm sitting up here like, I know, like, even another one.
You bet that's time like the clock on Flav's neck.
Anyway, before I let go, that's what I'm going to say. The new and the old version, but go ahead.
That's a good one. Where you just bounce your shoulders. That's all you do to that right there. I like that.
Before I let go. Look.
Okay, y'all got a time mix so I don't be cheating.
I am. Go ahead. Go ahead, Destiny. I know you got something good.
I do.
I got you.
What you got for me, good?
It's kind of relating to our topic for today. So, my 25 seconds or less question is, what are 5 affirmations that you can say to yourself?
Oh, that's easy, girl.
See, how you really?
It's okay. I talk to myself all the time. Tell me when to go.
Oh
my!
That's what I'm.
Drop down.
All right. Ready and go.
Okay. You are God made. We do this for Issa. Oh God, protect your heart for Protect your heart for above all things. Oh God, it's Proverbs 4:23. Proverbs.
Boom.
Oh God, it's super hard. You got me. Oh God, above all things, protect your heart for all you do flows from it. Goodness, why did I get my Proverbs messed up? But yeah, Proverbs.
Because you were being timed.
Right.
I got it. But yes, you are God made. We do this for Issa, which is my brother, my baby. Love him to death, and may he rest peacefully. Proverbs 4:23. Above all else, protect your heart, for all that you do flows from it. Yeah. And then the other ones I can't say on the radio.
Okay.
But hot girl talk, if you know what I mean.
See, little see. I don't even want to know. That's when we talked about the thing, what you keep right here, that space. I'm gonna let you have all of that. Hot girl summer.
You know my favorite song is the International Players Anthem. That tells you everything you need to know about. When I'm with Destiny, we play that at least one time in my car.
Hi, man.
That's a feel good bump right there. I don't know.
Yeah.
And that beat drop.
Girl.
That's the thing.
I'm coming down the aisle to that one.
I choose.
He know it's real. Doing the cabbage patch in the bankhead bounce, so he know it's real. Mm-hmm.
Now, see, this is for me. I will have to say, like, and I don't know if I told y'all, but like Andre 3000, like he is my only man crush ever.
He's so fine.
Why wouldn't you?
But I'm just saying, like, I don't even all the other guys that come, it's no big deal. Like he has always been like he just is. That's it. I was like,
It's because he keep it real. And it flows off of him like nobody else's business.
I mean,
something about that one.
Yeah, from day one, he's a genuine spirit. Yeah.
See, my first grown man crush was Maxwell. I saw him on the picture, and I said, he had this big old fro, and I said, "Mommy, who is that?" And this movie had the big screen TV with a back to it, because that's how old it was.
Uh-huh.
She said, "You don't sit your fast self." But child, Maxwell is the man of my dreams.
Oh, look.
Like, what, Maxwell? What happened? Ooh. Yeah.
Oh, bye. Well, we have come to the end of our episode. However, I want to start, because earlier I think I started with you, Destiny, right? So I want to start with you, Nisaa, and just kind of do that check-in.
Right now I am feeling loved. This was a really good way to reset myself. So yeah, I'm feeling loved. I thank you and Destiny for sharing yourselves and your vulnerability and for your affirmation. So I'm definitely feeling it today.
That's what's up.
Thank you. What about you, Miss Destiny?
I'm feeling grateful. I don't know if I used that last time we were here, but it's just one of those things that you can feel over and over again. Gratitude is never one of those things that just has to leave. I'm grateful, not just because I get to have these conversations with you beautiful ladies, but because I know that us having these conversations means that somebody gets to hear what we're saying, and maybe whatever we say will help somebody else. And that's a grateful feeling right there. Even if it's just one person. I'm grateful for that.
Yeah. Well, I know for me, like I started out peaceful, and I really still feel that way, but I also feel therapeutic. And because I feel as though like a lot of things, I love the fact of I don't know, I feel like we've been in like almost a therapy session in a way, where it's like being able to share and just, but I still am at peace. I know at one point it was kind of trying to, test me a little earlier, but I stayed true to form. So, look. So, but no, I'm peaceful. I feel therapeutic. I really do. And, yeah. So I'm grateful to both of you, for even joining me with this platform. It truly is a blessing to have you. So I'm grateful for that. So thank you. Did y'all have any shout out you wanted to give before we go or anything like that?
Let me think. No, I guess if I were to shout anything out, I want to shout out like people who just keep on keeping on. And that's if it's, seemingly not real for other people, like if it's a defense thing, or if you have your moment where you break down in front of people, but then you come back stronger, or even if you just kind of feel like now isn't your moment, but you're still going. Shout out to you for keeping on, because it's not easy.
Good stuff.
Yeah.
I'm going to shout out. I'm going to tell people, don't tone yourself down for nobody. I don't care how they feel about it. Because you're only doing yourself a disservice at the end of the day.
Yeah, good stuff. I do want to send some extra love to all Black trans lives, period. Like I want to send love to them in a special way. I do. That's part of it for me today. I just some different things that I've seen, and I just respect. I just respect them. So, yeah, that's pretty much it. So, all right, ladies. All right. So, everyone, we just want to thank you all so much, for joining us today. We truly hope that you had an amazing time with us, and we look forward to talking with you all soon. Keep shining.